Hello my ducks, welcome back to the Hermit's Cave. Hope everybody's doing okay. I'm recording a couple of videos back to back. It's Sunday evening. This one will probably go up on Monday. Just while I've got a bit of time really. If you was in my live last night, we did Tarot Talk, spotlighting UK's latest releases. And I was joined by Cheryl from Oneness Emporium. A lot of people were there. It was great. There was 130 at one time. And thank you for all the lovely comments. But you will have seen that I received the final instalment of Seasons of the Witch. And this is the Ostara Oracle, which belongs here to complete the set. This is probably about 4 or 5 years in the making to get all of these. I'm really pleased that I stuck with it to get them. I know some people didn't, but I did. So yeah, and you'll notice that there are a couple of decks that has Guiada Rose. So this one, which is Beltane, Samhain and Yule, and the rest is Tijana, which did the rest of them. However, even though a different artist has been used, you'll see that the sort of synchronicity and cohesion of the art style is really cool. So the reason why I put them in this order is as part of my spiritual practice, I follow the wheel of the year, I should say. This, before anybody leaves a comment as well saying, where did you get this from? I've had this about 7 or 8 years. I bought it from a Pagan Pride event, the handmade. I did, well, I say pay a lot back then. I think it was about £35. So it wasn't too bad really. To say it's handmade, but it's absolutely exquisite. And I just thought I'd talk a little bit before showing the deck about my practice in terms of honouring the Wheel of the Year. So there's a number of things I do. I'll revamp my altar. I'll change some offerings around of herbs, etc. Change candles. I tend to have the same items on there, so I always have things to represent the goddess. When I talk about the goddess, I'm talking about Gaia. But I also have, representations for the male and female aspect. So I'll have things like an athame and a chalice, as well as like a cauldron and a wand. And all those sorts of things. But I will switch it around a little bit at each Sabbath. My wheel, this wheel, takes centre place on one of my sacred spaces, and I have a crystal, a clear quartz crystal that sits on the top and will move around through the year, depending in which where we are. I always start with Samhain, so not everybody does. Some people will start with Yule and they'll see the year beginning like the kind of Gregorian year in terms of beginning of January. But for me, if there was a pagan new year, it would be Samhain. So it always sits in this position with Samhain at the top, and then we move around the wheel by moving the crystal around. And this is lit as well at each Sabbath. And then I've just got some little traditions that I do. This book I've shown before, Lunar Moon Hair, it's a little bit dog-eared now because it's had so much reading. It's written and illustrated by Wendy Andrew, who did the Goddess Love and Goddess Dreams deck. Really beautiful artist. But this takes you through the year as well, as seen by Lunar Moon Hair on her journey around the wheel. And each one introduces you to a goddess, and it's about the fight between the Holly King and the Oak King, and the days getting shorter and longer, etc. It's a beautiful book. and a beautiful read. And I will read that each Sabbath as well. And then the other thing to mention is these books by Llewellyn's Sabbath Essentials. And again, I've got Samhain on top, but these have all sorts of stuff. They've got rituals, it says here, rituals, recipes, and lore for Halloween, Yule, the winter solstice, Imbolc, Ostara, Beltane, Midsummer, which is also Letha, just say Letha here, rituals, recipes, and lore for Letha. Lammas. A lot of people use Lunasar or Lunasa. I've heard it pronounced many different ways. I refer to Lunasar as Lammas, and it says here rituals, recipes, and lore for Lammas. And then we have Mabon for the autumn equinox. And these are really good handy books to have. I can't remember if I took it with me when we went to Glastonbury one Samhain, and we did a ritual from the Samhain book as well, and Sandra read an invocation, and it was lovely. So they're really great to get. Oneness Emporium sell those books as well, so I just accumulated them over time. Pretty similar to these decks. So what I will say about this set is they really are uniformed beautifully. Even from one of the earlier decks, you can see this one. They have these the moon on the back. There'll be 4 different, so this one is a hand. The gilded, this one has got a bit chipped because I've used it, as you can see. Metallic edges. So if we go to Yule, I think Yule is green, and you can usually get an indication from the cold stamping on the box. So this one has hands as well, but with a kind of a bow, and again that's got metallic green. So I mean, I wouldn't merge these into one great big deck because with 8 decks there, you know, that would be quite a challenge. This one has candles, but you get that moon as the centerpiece. This one has a beautiful dark blue metallic, etc. I really particularly liked the Mabon Oracle version. This was just gorgeous. Look at that. And then the colour of this orange was just stunning. So this is one of my favourites. I love the Mabon one. So yeah, really, really nice. And it's funny because even though like I said, I took the Samhain one with me to Glastonbury, and Sandra and I pulled cards from it as well over the time that we were there. I've always felt like I needed the complete set to start using them properly at the Sabbats. Even though we've just been waiting for Ostara. Ostara is the next Sabbath to come, which is mid-March, or as we know it as well as Easter. Well, we do in this country anyway. Or Estra, and that's where it's about the new life. It's about the life coming back, and that's why it was hijacked by the Christian church in terms of you know, the rising of Christ. But if you think about the egg, it's about that newness, that cycle of the wheel going around, and we've got spring and, you know, new life in terms of flowers and crops and everything else. So yeah, so we're going to have a look. I'm going to put these, make sure I put these in order because I want them on my shelf in order as well, so that I can pull them for each Sabbath and start using them at the Sabbath. And around that time, just pull a card each day, read its message, pop it on a little stand. So I've got these stands everywhere around my sacred spaces. They're really useful. You can pull a card and stand it on your space as well. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to bring the camera down and we'll have a look at this deck closely. So you can already see the metallic hold stamp in here. It's actually in silver, but as the light catches it, we've got this iridescence in it. The production quality, they're by Rockpool. The production quality on these decks are just something else. They're really lovely, nice, soft, matte finish, but all the way around, you've got these beautiful metallic cold stamping on there. Really gorgeous. So this is Lorraine Anderson and Juliet Diaz, who's been consistent throughout, and the illustrations is Chijana, I want to say Lukovic. Very easy to open. Nice sturdy 2-part box. We do always get the full moon on the inside, and we've got this silver. The theme for this deck is silver, as you can see from the edges here, but there is that iridescence, which is just beautiful, really gorgeous. And these are the backs, which is this lovely sort of apricot peachy colour. And because it's Ostara, we've got the Mad March hares dancing around, just beautiful. And some daffodils, and it's just gorgeous. I love spring. I really love it. I think my favourite is spring. I always used to say, I'm torn between spring and autumn. I love the colours of autumn, but then you've got the onset of winter coming. I love winter up until Yule, but I struggle with January and February. Always have my entire life. Don't know why, but I can't wait to get through January and February each year. And we're nearly there. We're on the 16th of Feb. A little thing you get in here is just to download a free app for Rockpool. We'll have a quick look at the book. Look at that. Oh. So Season of the Witch, Ostara Oracle. I'm so pleased. I love how they've done this as well, to show that that silver does give you the different rainbow colours. Yeah, I'm just so thrilled to now have the complete set. It says 2025 because it's just been released. I'm not sure if Cheryl's got these in early. If you can't find them anywhere else, then do get yourself over to Oneness Emporium. The link will be in the description, and you can get one of these. And don't forget, there's a 10% code as well here, which is Hermits10 at checkout, and you'll get a further 10% off. Although Cheryl is her decks that she stocks, she doesn't you know, they're not extortionate prices by any stretch. They're really reasonable. And it starts off by saying here, and now the wheel is complete. In your hands is the last stop on the wheel of the year, forever enshrined in Oracle deck form. I love that. We have heard that they're now working on a tarot, so I'll be interested to see how they pull it all together to create Seasons of the Witch tarot deck. But watch this space. It's certainly a deck that I would want to have. Because I just love these. So in the beginning, you always get your themes and focus. So here, this is about alignment. It's about balance, cleansing, fertility and growth, harmony, new beginnings, patience, prosperity, purity, realignment, rebirth, rejuvenation, sacred spaces, self-awareness and strength. And I love that. I really love that. And that's why I love this time of year. How to use the cards. Most guidebooks give you that, as well as spreads that you can use. So we've got Ostara spreads. And then we go into the cards themselves. So you do get a colour image, and then you get your title, but also you get some words on the cards. And then they're kind of repeated here in this italic font at the bottom. And then you've got your keywords here. So this is ancestral lands, and the keywords is connection with the past, honouring where you've been, healing old wounds. And then you get your writing about that particular card, which I think is brilliant. If you're working with this deck during the Sabbath and you pull a card, just have a read of it and just, you know, just connect with that Sabbath. And then connecting with Earth Magic Ceremony. So there's a little ceremony here that you can do. And that's repeated all the way through the book. At the back, we have information about this bonus material, a QR code that you can scan, but you also get about the illustrator and also about the authors. So Lorraine and Juliet, and then here about Tijana, and then a little bit about the rest of the decks that are available. So I think they're all still in print. I'd imagine they are, because now that all 8 decks have been released, people are going to want to plug the gaps if they didn't keep up with buying them over the last few years. So they are glossy. They are glossy cards. Would I prefer them to have been matte? I don't mind so much for Oracle decks. I prefer matte cardstock for tarot decks. But for oracles, I don't mind, because I don't tend to use oracles in the same way as I would a tarot. I wouldn't do a spread necessarily. I use oracles usually as clarifiers, but for this purpose, for this series, it's to work with during the Sabbats. So yeah, we have ancestral lands, as you can see here in front of this beautiful tree. I won't read all of the messages. If you wanted to do that, then just press the pause button and you can read them. Cardstock is really nice. There's nice spring and flex to them. We have aquamarine, Aries. So there is the astrological associations as well throughout the year. I've got the ram there. Aromatherapy. The astrological new year. Yeah, and what may have seemed to have had an end is just beginning to fully breathe, where new life starts to burst forth. We have chicks, which is really cute. And the artwork is just beautiful, isn't it? Community garden. We've got one of them for this complex where I live. Composting. Creating altars. I love creating altars. Daffodils. The Easter egg hunt. I would have just probably have called, with it being a witchy deck, I'd have probably just called it an egg hunt. Eggshell pots. Gosh, I love the little, I don't know if these are, I was going to say painted, but it's actually stood on the surface there. So here we have Estray. Floromancy. A flower wand. Garden party. We all love that, don't we? Get invited. Again, spring and summer months, sitting outside in the evening. Germination. Grasshopper. We have the hare. Oh, I love that. Look to sleep in here, in this grove of trees. There's magic in the balance of all that we are. Hot cross buns. 1 a penny, 2 a penny. Irish moss, jasmine. I love the triple hairs there. Lamb in season. Beautiful. Moon milk. We have mushrooms. Easter egg tree. Painted eggs. That looks like the Glastonbury tour, doesn't it? Peach moonstone. That's probably what this back is representing. It's a beautiful, beautiful stone. Pink moon. Plant dying. Primrose. Beautiful. Rainbow. We have robin. The sacred circle. That's a bit like my wheel that I showed. Seed blessing. Shortbread. We have the simmer pot. Spring cleaning. Spring equinox. A spring hike. Let's get outdoors. We've been hunkered down all through the dark winter months. Let's get outdoors and do a big hike. Spring rain. Tea party. Terrarium. And wreath making. Look at these hairs. Leaping. Ah, beautiful. Again, another wonderful addition in the series. There isn't a single deck that I don't like. Sure, there are some that I like more than others, but I think it's been a fantastic series, and I'm so pleased that it's A, completed, and B, I stuck with it and got all 8. All right, thanks everyone. Let me know if you've got this set. Did you manage to get all 8 or just 1 or 2 and some you weren't bothered about? Is it important for you now to get all 8? Are you happy with the ones you've got? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to head over to Oneness Emporium where you can get this now. And yeah, thanks for watching everyone, and until next time, go in peace. Namaste and blessed be.